Hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Pokemon Emerald No Healing in Battle Wedlocke Challenge. In the last episode, we made our way through all of Team Aqua's hideout here east of Lilycove, or in Lilycove if you will. You know what I'm talking about, the little place right here, and then we got Team Aqua to skedaddle on out, removing our blockage that was blocking the way to Mossdeep City, which is where we're going next. And also last episode is where we said goodbye to our main man, our Grumpig Jacques, who died to Maxie the episode before it. And it was a hard blow to take, it was. He was a really great Pokemon on our team, and somebody that we relied on heavily for every fight that we had entered. And it's just really hard to see him go. But his partner, Ricky the Tentacruel, did still stand to be joined by a new Pokemon on our team, being Uga, our Dusclops. Then a Duskull, but now a Dusclops. And honestly, I'm loving Uga. He's a big, gentle giant. He loves to put down the pressure. You know how it is. And he's overall just really stacked. Look at the defenses. 112 defense, 132 special defense. You're like, yeah, at this point in the game, it's pretty decent, right? No, look at everybody else's defenses. Ricky is the special defense genius, and she only has 103 special defense. Everybody else does not even come close, except for Altair. Basically the same special defense that Ricky has. But you know what I'm saying? He is a monster in the tank sector, and his attack's not even that bad either. And he has a stab move to take advantage of it that can never miss, coupled with a grass-type hidden power and even Ice Beam. Ooga Booga, Ooga Ooga Booga is gonna be a legend on this team, and I really can't wait to see what he's capable of bringing us. So, with that being said, we're gonna learn about Ooga Booga, Boogadoo a little bit in this episode. I haven't actually, I forgot. Repel. Doesn't matter, we can't get anything here in the water, but I forgot to spray up a repel, so what I was saying is, we're gonna, excuse me, Wingull, this is why I hate your species. He's like, I gotta get on camera, I'm a Wingull! No! You're not allowed to put up your mist. He's spraying his mist. He's misting us. If you're a Big Brother fan, you know what I'm talking about. He's trying to get us to like him, even though we don't like him at all. I would name you Dan. I already have a water type named Dan, but that's not the point! Anyways, not in this series. Watch the Platinum Fate Lock. Anyways, series plug. Thank you, Wingull. It's the only thing you're good for. What I was saying is you guys are going to get to see a lot of Ooga Booga. Because, was that what I was saying? You got to see him last episode, basically. We showed him off a lot. He was only up to level 37 when we started, but he got to 39. Got to use him a lot, basically. You're going to get to see some more of the Ooga Booga Boogity Boo in this episode. That's what I was saying. Because I wanted to segue into the fact of I haven't actually edited or uploaded the last episode yet, so I don't know if you guys love or hate Ooga Booga Boogity Boo. So I might be incredibly annoying when everybody told me to stop, and I'm just a little bit ahead, or you guys love it and he's the fan favorite. You never know. Anyways, we're here on Route 124. We have a water route to take down before we can make our way to Mossdeep, which is what we're doing in this episode, of course. And, yeah, like I said with Wingull, there's nothing I can get here. I can get a Pokemon underwater, but we don't have the ability to use Dive quite yet. And, you know what I'm saying? Dive is actually only counted as one area. The underwater is a single Pokemon, so whether I get it here or somewhere else, it doesn't actually matter. We're not getting a Pokemon, unfortunately, on Route 124, but we will be getting a Pokemon today, this episode, which is pretty cool. I actually forgot to start my timer. It's not something I normally do, but I'm trying to time my episodes as of late, so I guess I'll add 5 minutes to whatever it is. I think we're 5 minutes in. Oh, Corm, you have no idea. You know, I might not be, but basically, Uga is a genius. He's going to be great for these water routes because he's got Grass-type hidden power, and while his special attack's not the greatest, and hidden power is not really the strongest move in the world, of course, but it's still nice to have. It probably doesn't do more than Shadow Punch. I mean, I could have tested that right there, but I didn't really feel like having our poor Ooga Booga get hit by another water gun from Meryl. What do I look like? A Meryl hater? Oh, a Meryl hater? No, of course I'm not a Meryl hater. Hello, are you new to the series? Did you watch the series at all? She's literally the queen of the team. That's why we call her Queen Finny. What is that from? Oh, I talked about that, I guess. So I was like, that's why we call her Queen Finny. It's something weird that I call my dog. So my rival Derek was over. He's been over plenty of times since I've gotten my 2 pugs that I currently have. They're 4 years old now, and I got them right before I started the channel. So yeah, actually 2016. I got them a year after. Well, yeah, a year before I started the channel. So they've always been here. Oh, that's actually not too good. I mean, what could a Gyarados do to Ricky? We're fine, but I call my dog Sock Sucky. That's what we call him. Maybe I confused right. We'll see what. Yeah, I know it has bite, but we have so much special defense. I'm not really concerned. I wanted to hit it with confused right because it's got a lot of attack, obviously, and Uga can take a couple of hits before I have to switch out. But I call my dog Sock Sucky mainly. It's because we started calling him Socky. It's not because he sucks. We started calling him Socky, and then it just became Sucky eventually. It was kind of cute, so we were like, hey, we'll just call you Sucky. And what's my cute name? My cute nickname for our dog Throw? You might be asking. Well, he doesn't really have a cutesy name. We just call him Throwbutt, okay? Throw-butt. That's just what we call Throw. He's my Throwbutt. And I started saying, oh, he's my Showbutt. And I like tap on his butt a little bit. I'm not weird. I just, tap on his butt a little bit and say Showbutt, because that's his butt. And I say, we call you Showbutt because you have a nice butt. And it was a joke, basically. It's not a weird thing whatsoever. I know it might sound that way, which is why I said rival Derek heard that for the first time recently, and he just looked at me like, okay. And it's like, no, it's not like that. We just call him Throwbutt. So like, I drew attention to his butt. And pugs have their curly tail, so he's got a cute butt. He's a puppy. What do you expect? You know what I mean? So that's where that came from, and I was like, that's why we call her Queen Finny. And I was like, that's why we call her Showbutt. That's what went to my mind immediately because of the tone that I used to address that statement, if you will, came to mind. If that's how you want me to word this, basically. Anyways, yeah, there's nothing we can get here on Route 124. Like I said, there's a forced double battle here, and you know what? It's sadness because I had a beautiful pair for double battles. It was Jock and Ricky, and Jock and Ricky are no longer here. So how do Ooga Booga and Ricky do, right? If you guys don't know why I'm calling Ooga Ooga Booga, it's because this naming theme for this playthrough is anything from the original Spyro the Dragon trilogy. And Ooga is based after a caveman, no big deal. I'm guessing Gyarados. No Gyarados, that's perfect. I don't have to stress. So he's named after a caveman, but I named our Duskull that we call Ooga because Ooga kind of sounds like Ooga, like a ghost spooky type. You know what I mean? So I'm like Ooga Booga, like spooky. That's where that came from. It's weird, yes, but it's beautiful. For some reason, I thought Ricky had Psychic. Aw, I was thinking of Jacques. Break my heart, man. I tell you guys what. Well, what do we do in here? I guess... what would be my best course of action here? Well, I guess I want to get rid of Carvana without a physical attack. Not that anybody has physical... You know what? I guess we'll just Acid. Oh, that hits both. I was like, oh, let's use Acid so we can get Stab and only hit one Pokemon. Well, no. Oh, Spark. I hadn't even thought of that. Well, it's not physical in this game, so I don't really care. That actually did a decent chunk. Excuse me. That sure did do an awful lot of damage. Well, you know what? Ricky has Protect, and I am not about to risk no, Thunderbolt rando shenanigans coming out of Chinchou here. So we're going to protect Ricky, because that's double battle strats. Hello. Tell me I'm good in the comments. Excuse me, Chinchou. I was predicting you to use that on Ricky. You didn't follow through, and you've made me look bad in front of my audience. How dare thee? Well, you know what? Well, now I guess Acid would have hit just Chinchou, and it would have done enough to kill it. So I guess, you know what? I failed this battle. At least it was just a Chinchou and a Carvana. It could have been a Lantern and a Sharpedo if the game wanted to be real nasty. But they further proved the fact that water routes are sad. They're very sad. And you know what is super duper sad about it? Well, this series has been one of my best series of all time. overall is what I would say, and that's what a lot of you guys have been saying it well. You guys just enjoyed a lot, and the series just keep getting better and better as the length of the channel goes on, which I absolutely love to strive for, and I can't wait for the next main series on the channel. I have so many big plans for it. It's going to be a blast, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it too. It's going to be up this summer. I hope this is going to be awesome. But yeah, because I'm guessing that these two would end, this and Platinum would end in May, which is the hope, and then the new one to start in June, which would be awesome. But what I was saying about it is it's been great so far, right? Well, not anymore, because besides next episode, because next episode is going to be Tate and Liza, which I'm sure everybody wants to see. But after that, it's going to be a slog. It's going to be like Team Aqua, and then water routes after water routes after water routes after water routes. It's gonna be a slog, but I have to fight everybody, and I'm going to. And I looked at the level limit recently. I'm kind of concerned because the level limit's only 46 after Tate and Liza. So I know you can fight Juan pretty much immediately, I guess. Like, we'll go from Tate and Liza, we'll do Team Aqua, and then my thought is we'll just fight water routes until everybody hits like 45. Like, we'll unlock the ability to fight Juan, basically, and then just do as much of the water routes as I can until everybody hits level 45 about, then take on the gym trainers, fight Juan, and then take on the rest of the water routes, and then fight Rayquaza, is the thought process that I've gone through, basically. That way, hopefully, everybody will be about level... Oh, I'm not going to fight Rayquaza until everybody's level 50. So, we'll get everybody to level 50 after that. Then fight Rayquaza. Fight all of the trainers, fight all the trainers to get everybody to level 50. It most likely won't be these 6 Pokemon, though, because that would mean nobody would die between now and then, which just does not seem likely, friends. But I'm all for trying. I am a believer. Not really. We're gonna wipe to Tate and Liza. It's possible. It's another one of those sick foreshadowing cases. You know how when Jock died the episode before that, I said, now Jock's gonna die next episode. That happened. So it was a depressing thing that unfolded. I'm pretty sure this is the next route. Yeah, we don't want that. Excuse me. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're just fighting the trainers on the way to Mossdeep for right now. But yeah, and then we'll get everybody to level 50 at that point for Rayquaza, fight Rayquaza. Because you guys might think, level 50, that's over-leveled for Rayquaza. You're a funny jokester, my friend. Rayquaza's level 70, and I have to kill it. So, why did I add that as a rule? Do I like to see the world burn? Do I like to suffer? The answer to that is no, I don't. I thought it'd be cool in theory at the time. Now, as we're rapidly approaching to that point of the game, I wish I could take it back. No, I think we'll be all right. I don't know what it has. Don't tell me. I like to go in surprise, but I'm pretty sure its main method of attacking me is Outrage and Fly. So as long as Ricky is still here by then, or Uga. If Ricky and Uga are still here by then, which is unlikely because that's who I'm fighting Tate and Liza with, spoilers, that would be great because they have super big special defense, and I should be able to clear them down, well, Rayquaza down by giving them, well, they both have Ice Beam, so I with that and Protect to get rid of the ability for it to use. See, I hate water routes because I don't know. I want to fight everybody, but I have to like double, triple check. But you use Protect to get rid of Fly, basically, and then Outrage can get itself confused, and they can tank up an Outrage, ideally, at least twice. I should be able to kill it in 3 Ice Beams, is the thought between the two of them. That's the hope. I don't know what I'm doing here. Why am I doing this? Anyways, I'm pretty certain we're almost to Mossdeep at least, so the idea for this episode is clear on the water routes to Mossdeep, then clear out the water route above Mossdeep, take on the Shoal Cave to the best of my ability, which is unfortunate because I can't actually do all Shoal Cave. I haven't fought you? Seriously? He dives underwater to go deep undercover. He's a sleuth. And I haven't guessed a name this episode, so how about Rodriguez? No, not even close. Chad doesn't really sound like a sleuth, my friend. I think you just like to play in the water, which these guys are super, super ballsy because I'm terrified of the ocean. I've talked about this before. It's one of my biggest fears because you're swimming and swimming and you do not know what is underneath you. Anything could grab your heel and go, I'm dragging you down, and just drown you, you're dead. Anything can just get you and you don't know because the water's so dark. That's scammy. That's just terror. I tell you guys what, it's not even right. I don't like the ocean whatsoever. I couldn't swim out here. I'd be afraid to be on a Pokemon out here. I'd be afraid to fly over it on a Pokemon. Just seeing that and thinking, don't drop me, Altair. I lose my mind. And Altair's just like, I know what you did. And it's like, what'd I do? I didn't do anything. And then she just like spreads her wings and knocks me off and starts giggling. It's like, no, Altair, why? All right, this is Route 126. So we're gonna fight these two, I guess. Not in a double battle. Like I said like a few minutes ago, no, I don't like to see the world burn. I'm not about that. I almost called Ooga Doug because like I'm dyslexic and the O's kind of looked like a D-O, and then like the A swapped with the G and the A looked like a U. Don't ask me how. All right, let's fight this girl. Like, if you don't have dyslexia, which I don't know, I might not. I've never been diagnosed, but like, I see letters swap themselves sometimes. But I'm also really smart. Not that people with dyslexia can't be smart. It's just, I might have a very incredibly mild case of it, like the letter swapping thing. I've had that ever since I was a kid for the most part. So, my dad's very dyslexic. Like, he's not very smart. Like, he struggled incredibly in school. Like, he failed art class when he was in high school. Like, not to discredit my dad's intelligence. Like, he's not book smart, but he's very street smart. Like, he owns a business, and he's done very well for himself. So, there's different ways of being smart, of course. But I was always, like, smart in, like, most... let's not say most things. I'm not smart street-wise. But I was always book smart for the most part. I did very well in school despite having that problem. So, if you don't have dyslexia, it's hard to understand. But, like, the word instead right there, like I saw that, and like the A and the D at the end had swapped, and I read Intida, you know, Instida, basically. So, but I guess my brain computes it quick enough because I'm really good with words for the most part that I can swap them back before I would read it out wrong, basically. I guess that's a good way to word it. So I saw Instida, but I knew quick enough that it was instead, whereas my dad is not very good with spelling in any sense, so he would actually read that as Instida before realizing that it was wrong. I guess that's a good way to word it. I guess there's different variations of the learning disability, if you will. I think that's what they would call it. I'm pretty sure it's considered a learning disability, even though it never disabled my learning. But you know what I'm saying, for the most part. It's normally a learning disability. Like, I guess a disability doesn't have to actually disable you, if that makes sense. Like, that's what it does, but when you get used to getting around it, then it's no longer considered like a disability for you. It's just a bit of a roadblock. I don't know how you would describe that, basically, right? Like, there's plenty of people that are born with disabilities, like, I'm trying to think, what's a good one? Not a good one, but like one that would make sense. Like, I know there's one in my head that I can't think about. That I can't, like, think of right off the top of my head, but I'm trying to think of it. I've seen people in, like, dating profiles have it. Funny story about dating profiles I can get into, but I've seen a couple of people. What is that called? That's going to bother me. I have to think about what it's called. Right, the one I was thinking of is called cerebral palsy, I believe. Like, obviously, there's variations of the disease, or disability, rather. Like, some people can't walk at all, as far as I'm aware, and there's some people that live perfectly normal lives with it. So I guess that's a good way to describe my version of what I assume to be dyslexia, is I have a very mild variation, is how you would word that, I think. Anyways, that guy I just talked to in there is where you get evolutionary stones in this game. You can trade him shards. Now, there's a really interesting thing about this. I know somebody that is playing along, shout out to Musicality Mix in the comments, is playing along on a Rainbow, Wedlocke, and Sapphire, and she has a Lombre on her team. And I had a Lombre, as you guys know, and if we still had Stella, she'd still be a Lombre, because it is actually the longest distance of evolution for a Pokemon in any game, I believe. Because you get Lombre at, what, level 14, is it? And you get it, like, at the start. You can have it before Roxanne. Okay, we didn't, so no, you can't. You can have it before Brawly with a level limit. So, if you think about it like that, from Brawly to after Tate and Liza is how long you have to carry that Pokemon to be able to get it to evolve, because that's the only way to get a Water Stone in this game. Now, that would mean you have to go 14 to what? Level 42. So we're saying 32 levels. No. 28 levels. Yes. Yes. 28 levels with a Lombre to be able to get it to evolve into Ludicolo. That is a long time. For reference, I used several Pokemon in the past in my channel that have very long spans of evolution, and they're never that many gyms. Like, trying to think, no, without spoiling anything, from Grant to Clement, from the Striaton gym to, well, I guess you can evolve that right away, but to make it worthwhile, how I carried Striaton to, what gym? Bryson? But that's not required. But yeah, Lombre struggles the longest, which is ridiculous. So if we still had Stella, we would be going through some times. And that and a no healing challenge, that's ridiculous. Anyways, we reached Mossdeep City. I don't know if you noticed this just now. I did, but I was rambling. And we're not really going to explore Mossdeep City here today. We're going to explore that in the episode we take on Tate and Liza, just to have a little bit something in there other than Tate and Liza. But I do want to go ahead and check something here. Anyways, this guy can go ahead, not this guy, it's the other black belt. They're training outside of Mossdeep City, of course. This guy can go ahead and teach me an interesting attack. He's a fighting type trainer, and he can't win at the Mossdeep Gym, no matter how hard he tries. Trust me, if you ever played this game as a kid and tried to run the game with your starter and you picked Torchic, you were in a rough time. I was that kid. I remember my Blaziken was like level 60 and I couldn't do this. It was ridiculous. But every kid that started with Hoenn or played Hoenn as a young kid had been there at one point. Anyways, all he likes to do is punch over and over again, and because of that, he wants to teach us the move Dynamic Punch, which can only be learned once. It's a move tutor, and it's obviously not a good attack, especially when you can't really hit or rely on it, but it can be learned by Queen Finny, Uga, and Crush. I'm not going to teach it, but if there's ever anything that I can think of that would make it a usable or something that would be a last resort, like maybe give it to Crush for the Elite Four if he doesn't have anything else that would be worthwhile for a slot, that'd be something, because maybe it would be like one last ditch effort to survive and maybe hit, confuse them, and then have them hurt themselves. It's a possibility, so I'll keep it in mind. I know it's here, and I'll try and move forward stronger with that. Anyways, we can go inside Steven Stone's house right here, the guy that we've seen. Actually, not yet. That's after Tate and Liza. You get Dive in there. But that's where you get the move to Dive. But if we talk to this guy, we can get an item that he got from Steven. It's not Dive, but he gave him a King's Rock. So you could actually have a King's Rock at this point in the game if you had a Pokemon, have a Pokemon with the move, with the ability Pickup. Because with Pickup, I've talked about this earlier on in my adventure. I tried to get one when we had our Linoon Twitchy, who was actually our Lombre partner. It was her starter partner, I guess. It was her only partner. So I tried to get it with Twitchy, didn't work out in my favor. We never ended up getting one, but we now have one, and it has the chance to make the foe flinch when we hit first, which is actually a really good thing. I would consider giving this to somebody, actually. What does Finny have? The Mystic Water? Finny's not too fast. Who's super fast on our team? What's Zephyr have? The Lax Incense? Well, the Lax Incense makes the foe sometimes miss, so I'd rather have them flinch. I think it's more likely to happen, maybe. Yeah, it's probably more likely to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and give Zephyr our King's Rock, which is cool. So the main thing that I want to do here in Mossdeep City this episode is I do want to go ahead and grab ourselves an item. I also want to make sure that we don't fight Team Magma first. My memory's a little foggy on that one. I don't know if we fight Team Magma or Tate and Liza first. If it is Team Magma first, that's going to change a little bit for me. But we're going to figure that one out together. We can grab ourselves the netball over here, which is cool. It might help us catch our Pokemon that we catch this episode, because we're going to catch a couple. And here's that guy, Scott. You know, guys, sometimes I might be just a little bit too loud. So if you saw a cut there, I said Scott so loud that my ear kind of popped, and I thought it was my dog barking. So I cut the recording to see what was going on. It was just me. So I know you guys are probably used to this. You probably have your volume on 3, but you know, that just means you're a true fan. You've been here long enough to know that I am a loud guy and keep your volume low when you watch me. Anyways, yeah, this is Scott again. He's like, hey, I heard Mossdeep's gym leader is strong. Wanted to see for myself. There's something ongoing on in town. They're warning a warning letter at the Space Center. It doesn't concern him, so he's gonna bounce. Please tell me I don't have to fight Team Magma first. Oh, please. Good. Okay, we'll deal with that later then. We'll explore Mossdeep City in the next episode when we actually take on Tate and Liza. But the reason I wanted to come here is for this guy, not for this guy. Well, you know what? He baited me. I thought it was him. It's this guy. I had it right the first time. This fisherman is where you get the super rod, which is awesome, because now we can get some unique Pokemon with the super rod. It's really super. I agree, of course, so I can get his item. Even if I didn't agree, I'd disagree. It's like Big Brother. Just agree and nod. Yes, say yes and nod, yeah? Basically. Just go ahead and stop an argument from happening. I don't want to argue with the fisherman guy for, the next 20, 30 minutes. I don't know how long he's got in him. He might be pretty endurance heavy. He might have great endurance. Who knows? Maybe we could be there for several hours. We don't actually know him. So I'm going to go ahead and heal up our Pokemon really quick and restock on items, actually, because we have some low amounts of super potions. And then we're going to go ahead and get our encounter for Lilycove City, actually, with the super rod that we just obtained. And then we'll make our way north to the Shoal Cave. Alright, guys, went ahead and stocked up on some items. They don't sell super potions there, so I bought some hyper potions, no big deal. I also stocked up on some max repels. We have super repels, so we probably won't need to use them for a while, but maybe they'll last us through all the water routes at least. I also sold the nugget that we had picked up, and I guess we'll spare max repel, why not? But yeah, we have some healing items. Can't use them in battle, only outside of battle, so it's no big deal. I also bought a couple of dive balls. I don't think they work correctly. That might just be in black and white too, or in black and white if they're in that as well. But yeah, because I don't know if they work or not, but they make Pokemon look cool. And, we caught our Dusclops, or Duskull at the time, Uga, and a dive ball, so they just look cool. So I thought, why not just buy a couple? You know what I'm saying? So I know I said I'd go ahead and catch my Lilycove City encounter. We're going to do that in a bit. I don't want to break up the commentary getting a Pokemon. We'll do that here afterwards, once we go ahead and fight some of these trainers over here on Route 125. Which, by the way, I can't get a Pokemon on Route 125. I never actually checked Mossdeep City. Right, there's might be a Pokemon we can get there. I'll check that here once we get our Lilycove encounter. I hope I remember. If not, yeah, I'll try next time. Anyways, I was starting to say a story. We'll go ahead and fight these trainers here on Route 125. There's nothing I can get here, if I already said that. But I started to say a story about a dating thing, or dating site, that I never actually got to say, because I got distracted talking about Ludicolo, and you know how it is. Tanya and her love disc is a joke. I'm not too concerned about love disc personally, but it was interesting. So, actually, I'm going to split this XP, because Crush needs XP too, and Zephyr's almost level 40, but anyways. So, I was using Tinder, okay? Track failed! Love Disc tried to use Tinder too. Dating sites, Love Disc, you can't write this stuff, I tell you what. So, no, I don't use Tinder for what you guys think. I'm not that type of person. Just, trying to meet some people. I was bored, meet some people in my area, maybe make some friends, see what's going on, right? And no avail, of course, because I look like a caveman with big beard, and I look kind of freaky, so I don't normally get many responses, or any matches for that matter. But, what was interesting was, my mom has a friend that I've known of her daughters, because she's really good friends with the friend of my mom's is also really good friends with my cousin. So whenever we go to my cousin's house, they're normally there, and she's there with her daughters. Her daughters are underage, okay? Obviously, there's much wrong with that. But I've known of these kids, obviously. The 13-year-old hits on me every time we go over there. I don't know what she sees. She's a dumb kid. That's exactly why that's wrong. So basically, the other one's 16, so she's a lot older. She does not look 16, as most 16-year-old girls normally tend to not. That's, part of the big problem there, among many other things. Well, I was scrolling through there, and normally just, swipe through super fast. All right, this is a veteran, I'm scared, so hold up. Let's fight the swimmer while I'm talking on my story here. I might need to plan a little better for that one. But I normally swipe through super fast just because I just want to meet random people. I don't really care. So, I don't know why, but I slowed down for some reason. I just was going slower. I was doing something, and I swipe, and then the next profile is the 16-year-old daughter that I know of. And I'm like, okay, you're not supposed to be on here. I'm calling your mother. So I didn't call her. I texted her mom, and I was like, I sent pictures of the profile. I was like, your underage daughter's on a dating app? You might want to check into her phone. And it just caught me off guard because obviously I've known of these girls for a little while, so while I was on Tinder, I was sitting there thinking, how messed up would it be if I saw somebody that I knew that is not supposed to be on this site, right? And I kid you not, almost immediately after I thought that, Boom. Yeah, it's like you can't make this stuff up. It's like I have the power to see the future. It's crazy. Oh, it's a bird keeper. You know, what was I thinking? I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. 2 Pokemon. Tropius. Hey, that's fine. I have Ice Beam on Zephyr. We'll be okay. But yeah, I was like, you know, I did the right thing, of course. I didn't report the profile. I didn't think of that. I was too busy taking pictures of the profile to send to her mom. And, you know, I didn't think about that. And I did, like, swipe on it or whatever to see if there was a match so I could actually double check if that was actually her for her, you know, to do some sleuth work. Of course not, but you know what I'm saying. But she ended up talking with her, and, you know, she swears up and down that somebody stole her pictures, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that, personally, because she's not the only kid that is underage that had made a dating profile. Like, I don't know if you guys did, but like me and my friends always messed around with that type of stuff when we were kids. That's just kids for you, you know, but she just learned how to drive. She just got her license, and I'm worried for that kid's safety if she's actually if that is actually her, and she was just lying to her mom, because you don't know what can happen. That's why it's illegal, everybody. And I don't know, I just thought that was an interesting story of something that had happened as of late. I'm pretty sure Bite would do more damage, and I could flinch it, of course. I'd probably just give you something stupid, or just die in one hit, too. You know, Zephyr, that works brilliantly. I love you, Zephyr. I appreciate you. I don't know why I thought it'd be good to fight this guy. I thought he was a guitarist for some reason, and I was thinking Magneton. But no. I'm worried what the veteran has, personally. Part of me feels like Hariyama, but another part of me feels like Metacham, Vigoroth. I feel comfortable with Crush. That's just what my gut's telling me. He's just a harmless old man. He's like, you're throwing garbage in the sea, you're not allowed to do that. I love how I just called a veteran a harmless old man. He has a Manectric. That's certainly not harmless. Manectric is normally the bane of my existence. Good thing we didn't go Queen Finny and... I almost said Queen Finny and Busan. That was a long time ago. Queen Finny and Altair, that would be bad. Queen Finny and Busan just rolls off the tongue. It's like, Queen Finny and Busan, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, Busan was a part of the massacre at Norman's gym. Luckily for us, Manectric just went for Quick Attack. Not that an electric move would be that big of a deal. The only worry is that it would paralyze me, but I could also get staticked, of course. But I have, you know, Zephyr in the back in case I need him. I keep wanting to say Latif. It's like, for some reason, I'm stuck on the older Pokemon that we had. But I say... Oh, whoa. Uh-oh. Wait, we have Guts. So, my thought here is... Now, this is just funny. Machamp versus Machamp. So, I have Guts, and we're going to move slower anyways, so let's just go for Vital Throw. We went for Vital Throw, too. Oof. Oh, God. Crush could die here, and that's so bad, because if we don't hit through right here, Crush is dead. Good! Please let Guts seal its fate. Oh! Oh! Scare me so bad! I don't need it! It's too much stress! I can't do another death right now. Not being able to heal in battle, you can die to anything. Heal, 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 heal. Oh, if we didn't hit right there, we were dead. Crush was dead. And by extension, Zephyr, because Zephyr couldn't have fought him a Machamp. You know what? I think that's boss stamp worthy. Like, I'm normally super stingy with them, but... Like, I'm really stingy with them. I see a lot of people that take the boss stamp trend as well, which I really appreciate you guys use that. I'm glad you guys like the concept. You know, obviously it comes from Maryland's Bro Badges, but I wanted to put my own spin on it. But I'm glad you guys like to use them for your Pokemon as well. But one thing I do see is a lot of you guys give them out like this, like from like nothing. Which, if that's how you want to play, I understand. But personally, I think you need to be extremely stingy with it. It needs to be something very valuable that they earn. And it's hard to do on a no healing challenge, as I've said in the past. Because you have to take a lot of things into consideration, and you can't heal, and it leaves your Pokemon in positions where it's harder for them to earn something. And Crush has not been here for very long. She's not done a great deal of things, since she's only been here since Norman, and she's not been able to fight in a gym, because the only gym we've had is the Flying type one, which she's weak to. But she's been through a lot. She lost a partner already. She has a Psychic-type gym coming up, which she's obviously not going to be able to fight in. But if she didn't hit through right there, she was going to die. And yeah, she saved her own life, which normally I don't take that into account. But not only did she save her own life, but if she had died, Zephyr would have guaranteed died as well. Most likely. I mean, we could have got good luck with the King's Rock, but Zephyr was dead as well. So for that, I do think Crush, our Machamp, does indeed deserve one of these.
Like a mouse.
Yeah, I think that is very justified. I'm normally super stingy about it, but taking into account how she did save her partner's life, and by extension, I think it was definitely most deserved. Okay, so we still have a Repel up. That's fine. It'll probably wear off almost immediately. We fought this girl already. We fought everybody up here, I'm fairly certain. There might be hidden items on these islands. I'm not going to look for them. The item finder in this game is pretty bad, and I'm not going to waste anybody's time. If there's anything very, very important, somebody will tell me and I'll find it. But hidden items don't normally tend to be very important. I do not know why I had to land there. I thought I was in the clear to go around, but apparently not. So there are a couple more fights. I know there's a sailor, and I'm pretty sure that sailor... That's what I thought. I actually did recall a Machamp around here, but I had a feeling that it was the sailor. So I'm guessing the sailor might have... oh, there's a swimmer here. We already fought her. Did we? No, we did not. Well, I recalled that the sailor probably had the Machamp, but I'm guessing the sailor probably has a Pelipper, if I had to take a good guess. Cindy? Sharon. Oh, you know what? That's something. Anyways, Sea King's only level 34. We can't worry about Horn Drill, obviously. We'll be fine. Well, that's speed, so I was going to go for Karate Chop hoping for the high crit chance. Didn't get it. That's fine. Crush is going to hit level 40 in the process here, which is going to be super awesome. Everybody's going to have... All pairs are going to have both Pokemon to level 40, except for Queen Finny and Altair, who have been sitting in the back for a little bit, but hopefully they'll be able to come out front and get to level 40. And I know there's a double battle coming up, which is scary. And I'm just so terrified to use Queen Finny and Altair because obviously we don't want Queen Finny to die. And by extension, Altair. I don't want any of my Pokemon to die, but... by having Queen Finny die, I feel like I would let down literally everybody in the entire community that watches this series. And that scares me so bad that I don't ever want to use her. I know I'm not supposed to be doing that. I need to use her. She's valuable on this team. She's proved herself a lot. I just, I can't imagine something happening to Queen Finny. If that was the case, I feel like I would be let down. I'd let down so many people, and it's just a scary thought to think about. Why do I keep seeing... I could have swore I saw a male swimmer. Is there anybody else? There's a male swimmer over there. There's the sailor that I was worried about. For the sailor, I'll lead with Altair. Yeah, I'm just feeling a Pelipper. Or a Machamp, again. Which, it's possible. I discounted it a little bit because we already saw one. How about Randy? Nope. I haven't guessed a Randy, I don't think, ever. Wingull, that's basically the same thing as Pelipper, except worse, obviously. But my dad's name is Randy, so, why not guess Randy? I mainly thought of Randy from Gabon, Survivor. He's one of my favorite villains. He's just a really funny guy overall. But not that I don't think of my dad from that name. It's just like, you think of your parents as, at least I do, as mom and dad. I don't really think of my parents' names, it's just something that doesn't really come to mind. So when I think of, their names, they're not the first person that comes to mind. Like, my mom, when I think of the name Tracy, she's not the first person that comes to mind. I think of Tracy Sketchit. So, right? And, Randy, I think of Randy from Gabon, most likely. Just because I'm a big Survivor fan. But it's not because I don't think about my parents. It's just because they're not Tracy and Randy to me. They're mom and dad, right? So, how do you guys think about that? Like, when you guys hear your parents' names, just their name in general, not somebody talking about them in specific, do you think of them immediately, or do you just, your mind go off to somebody else that has that same name? I'd be interested in knowing that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and lead with Altair as well. I don't think I took damage. He heard me approaching, so he hung around for us. This guy has supersonic ears. Edward Nolan. It's a Tentacruel. Hey, at least, hey, you know what? The water trainers in Emerald are actually scary. Not actually. I've just been thinking of the guys that are on land. Fly's just my best bet. It's physical, I should be able to kill it. Well, it still is going to take 2 Fly, most likely. But, you know what? Altair is 2 Fly, basically, right? That was a bad joke, I apologize. But I don't feel like using special moves. We'll be here all day. Queen Finny could have fought this thing. No, I would have switched. Queen Finny doesn't have any physical moves. Well, that's not true. She has double edge, but I don't think I would have done that against a Tentacruel. I mean, what? We're 5 levels higher. I probably would have fought Nolan's Tentacruel here, Queen Vinny, if I led with her. But I didn't, because I'm worried to use her ever, and we have these two, and everybody else is level 40. I don't like it. Yeah, you know what? You know what? I gotta do it. I have to. I have to. And the other double battle had an electric type, right? So I'm just like doing process of elimination here. It's unlikely they also have one. I don't like this. But they're the only pair that isn't level 40. I've gotta just believe they can do it. It's Iris and Kim. She's like, Kim, can you tell me what we're looking for out here? And Iris is just like completely silent, like, Kim, I'm sick of you asking me for directions. I said pull up the GPS. Anyways, Swablu Numble. I love how Queen Vinny and Altair just get the easy end of the stick every time. I commit to using them, knowing they can do it, and then it just always goes the same. It's always easy. And we'll kill the Swablu one shot with Ice Beam, and then we'll surf the Numble. And even if we don't kill the Swablu one shot, they both dead from surf. We did. Surf will utterly destroy that Numble, who happens to be level 35. You know, if it was a camera up, I might have been shaken just a tiny bit. Maybe not. No, I wouldn't have been shaken at all. Actually, I probably would have, because Finny wouldn't have killed camera up to one shot, and then it could have like rock slid into the DMs. Right? Oh, that's good. I could make a Twitter profile named Camera, and then make my profile picture camera up, and then message girls on Twitter and say, I rock slid into your DMs, right? Like, obviously a joke. I wouldn't harass girls like that online, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, one thing that I do have to mention here is I did mention this at the very beginning of the series. We are in the Shoal Cave. I didn't mention that. But, unfortunately, I set my clock wrong. Well, not wrong, but let me explain. My Emerald copy, I'm playing on a legitimate copy on a DS capture card. I have a dry battery, meaning time is at a standstill. When I started the game, I set the clock randomly. I spun the wheel and hoped for the best, basically. And I landed on 10:20, which is the high tide. It will always be the high tide. It will never, ever change. This is also why we can't grow berries. I could fix it. I'm not going to. I'm taking it as an added challenge. Meaning the only thing we're allowed to get in the Shoal Cave, unfortunately, is Spheal. There is no chance at Snowrun. Spheal is still really cool. I'm very interested in it. I'm not too upset about it. And we also can't get the Shell Bell because we can't get both parts because you have to go to both tides to be able to get both parts. So, with that being said, I guess we're going to go ahead and get our Shoal Cave encounter. It can only be Spheal, so I'll be back once I get Spheal. I'll lead with Altair because I can run from the Zubat, hopefully, and then switch into Finny to catch Spheal. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get my encounter for Shoal Cave, and I'll be back in a sec. My encounter for the Shoal Cave is a Spheal. First try. Thank you for saving my time. Level 26, male Spheal. Very cool. Having another male Pokemon in the PC that is different would be nice because all of the cool Pokemon in my PC are female, and we've not had a female die this entire game. That's not true. We have not had a female Pokemon die since Norman. That's true. So, yeah. Yeah. We have it. But, actually, let's switch into Finny. But one thing I did notice about this challenge is this playthrough has been incredibly female power. It's like, go women, the challenge, which is really cool. Like, my females on this playthrough have been absolutely dominant. Think about it. We had Farley, Basil and Farley. Farley was obviously the leader of that pair. Stella was Queen Stella. We had Queen Stella and Queen Finny. We still have Queen Finny. When we lost all of our Pokemon to Norman, we had two females that we added and 3 males. The 2 females we added are like monsters here. We had Ricky and Crush, and their partners were just a tiny little Trapinch and a tiny little Spoink. It's been big guns for the girls this playthrough that I've noticed. I just think that's pretty cool. I can't think of a time in any of my past playthroughs where it's been one dominant gender, but definitely out of this playthrough, it's been all girls for sure. So I say we go ahead and throw the netball. Just hope we dunk this Spheal. I just had thought of that at some point, and I wanted to go ahead and mention it in an actual episode, of course. Please get in the ball for me. I appreciate you greatly. We did. We got ourselves a Spheal. Very awesome. I don't know what we're going to name this. I'll have to go ahead and check my list for a cool name. So obviously, as I said earlier in the episode, our naming theme is anything from the original Spyro the Dragon trilogy, except basic things and, you know, stuff like Spyro, of course. But anyway, Spheal is the clap Pokemon. Clap, clap. That's not actually a Spheal. It is completely covered with plushy fur. As a result, it never feels cold, even when it's rolling out on the ice floes or diving in the sea. So it's very insulated. Very cool. I'll go ahead and check my list for a name for this Spheal, and I'll be back in a sec. Alright guys, I've got ourselves a name for this Spheal. So, I was originally going to name it after a dragon from Spyro 1 from the Ice Cavern realms, because it sounds a lot like a certain Game of Thrones character that I know is an incredible name for a Walrein. I think it's Game of Thrones. I've never seen the show, I don't know, but I know it has something to do with Hold the Door, I think. I don't know anything about the show though, and I don't want to name this Spheal that just because I don't really quite get the reference personally, and I found one that I like quite a bit better, and that is after a resident from the realm of Aquaria Towers. And we have Queen Finny. We've had a prince. We named our Kecleon Tortoise, which is after Prince Tortoise. This one is actually after a king, and I like the name of it a lot. I think it fits Spheal quite a bit, and I believe it will actually fit all in, and I won't have to remove the king prefix. So we're gonna go ahead and name this Spheal King Flippy. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't fit just by one character. Curse you, 10 limit back in the day. But yeah, we have King Flippy from the realm of Aquaria Towers in Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. And in the game, he has a lot of children. But this game, he's just a regular old Spheal. So yeah, we have King Flippy. His name, if we ever use him on the layout, will be King Flippy. But he's just Flippy, just like Finny. I wonder if they're related. I don't think, but maybe Queen Finny and King Flippy are together. I don't think so, though. I'm fairly certain. But it would be possible if Altair ever died, but that would be such a bad pairing. I don't think I'd do it for the meme in a challenge that I can't heal in, but it'd be possible, I suppose. Anyways, we have the Shoal Cave. There's really nothing left to do in here. There's a couple of items. I know there's rare candy. We'll go ahead and go through here. There is no trainers. I don't even want to get those because it's just going to take up inventory space. And like I said, I can't make the shell bell, unfortunately, because you have to come back on high tide and low tide. And I can't come back on low tide because the time has never changed since we started the playthrough. I know, it's sad, but while I was getting a name for this thing, I also did go ahead and check if we can get a Pokemon in Mossdeep City, and we can't. There is nothing eligible there. The only thing that we could get, it would be a gift Pokemon, even if it was possible, but we can get the Beldum from Steven, but that isn't until after you beat the game, so there's nothing we can get in Mossdeep City, unfortunately, except a beating from Tate and Liza, which will inevitably come in the next episode, but unfortunately, there's nothing we can get there. But we can get a Pokemon in Lilycove City still, which is what we are going to be doing before we end off the episode. And we're going to grab this rare candy. That's mainly the only reason that I actually explored this cave, because I know there's nothing for us here after our encounter, because we can't get the shell bell, like I said, and I believe this other exit is a dead end. Not a dead end. It takes you right back to the start, with that area that had a ledge, I believe. Indeed. But there's an item. A big pearl. Well, I guess we got a little bit of money. It paid for our trip. Okay, I guess we can go ahead and use an escape rope, and we only have 2 left. That's unfortunate. And then fly our way back to Lilycove City. You might hear me moving in my chair. My leg is like cramping up. Oof, I kicked the table. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and fly back to Lilycove City and get ourselves an encounter there, because we never were able to, because there was nothing eligible until we got the Super Rod. But there is a certain Pokemon that you can only get here in Lilycove City, I believe, in Emerald with the Super Rod, which is pretty sweet. And it's a Pokemon that I have used twice before on the channel, but it's eligible because I didn't use it in Omega Ruby, and this is a completely new previous game clause season. And that means the only Pokemon that aren't allowed are Pokemon that we used originally in our Mega Ruby Wedlocke, which was our first series ever. And we did not use this Pokemon. I believe I caught one, though. Anyways, if we cast our newly obtained Super Rod, we can get ourselves an encounter here let's go ahead and put Queen Finny up front. Why not? They don't really have anything that they can do to us, I'm pretty sure. So my encounter for Lilycove City can only be one thing, and I'll be back once I get it. I said it can only be one thing, and I'll be back once I get it. My encounter for Lilycove City. Excuse me. Okay, I'll fish right here. Wait, I actually said I'd fish on a specific tile. I'm pretty certain. We're done here? Just to peep you up? That's fine. But I'll go ahead and fish right here. Like, not that it matters, but I just think that's funny. I think it was this one. If I'm wrong, people can be mad. My encounter for Lilycove City is Bianca. Fine, I'll get off the bike. Is it hard to fish on the bike, Bianca? I understand. My encounter for Lilycove City is... You know what? I will not cut to the encounter without getting the nice transition. I absolutely a Staryu. There we go. That took like 12 Whalmer. And you might notice Queen Finny's fully healed in has a little bit more XP because I couldn't run away from one of them. And it used Whirlpool and I had to kill it. And that was annoying. But this took way too long to catch. Well, fine for a 15% encounter. But we found him. Hopefully we'll catch him in an S-ball. I don't know. And I know it's genderless. Wait, we don't know it's gender. Right, I was going to say it's genderless. I'm just going to call this one a male, but we might not actually know what it is until we catch it. I forgot. It's a Wedlocke. We have to determine its gender for the sake of the Wedlocke. Anyways, I'll throw one dive ball, and then I'm just going to throw Ultra Balls until I catch it. But yeah, I've used this Pokemon, like actively used it twice before on the channel. So it's not on my big list of priorities, but it's a cool Pokemon. It's an encounter regardless, and it's something eligible, so we're going to go ahead and catch ourselves a Staryu. So Staryu is the star-shaped Pokemon. It gathers with others in the night and makes its red core glow on and off with the twinkling stars. It can regenerate limbs if they are severed from its body, like a starfish, because it's based on a starfish. Anyways, I've actually already got a name picked out for this thing. When I made my naming list, I actually set aside a specific name for Staryu. So, out of the two Staryu I've used on my channel in the past, they were both male, okay? This one, I don't know if it's gonna be male, we'll find out. It doesn't matter, I'm naming it this anyways. So 1 through 3 for male, 4 through 6 for female, go. A 3, so it's a male, just like the rest of them. So, we have ourselves a male Staryu, and I named my Staryu very weird things. So, the first one I named was Earl. I had a Starmie named Earl. The second one, well, it fit into my RuneScape naming theme. I named it Bub. It's like a 30-letter name, but it's just for short. It's just Bub. It's like Bub Schlerinkle, something like that. But we named him Bub. So what do we name the third Staryu? Well, how about an homage to Bub? Because there's a dragon in Spyro 1 from the Misty Bog realm named Bubba. So we have Bubba, the Staryu. What better name for a Staryu? You know, you just can't get better than that. And because we haven't checked out the Spheal we caught, or the Staryu we just caught, and we forgot to check out the Electrode we caught last episode, let's go to the Pokemon Center here in Mossdeep City and check out the 3 Pokemon that we've recently caught that I haven't quite checked out yet. Yeah, let's check out the Electrode, the Spheal, and the Staryu before we end off the episode today. So, first up, oh, I don't remember what you were. Oh, yeah, I think you were a male, but if not, I'll correct it in editing, and he'll be changed afterwards. But I'm pretty sure this was a male, because I was like, hey, you went straight to the males box. Great, perfect. And then you are a male as well. They're all males. Well, I think they're all males. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it. Don't worry about it. Anyways, we have a serious-natured static Bombo, the Electrode. It does have self-destruct, so we got lucky. Who did I lead with for that? Oh, right, Uga. We got lucky, though. Yeah, we got ourselves a serious-natured Electrode. And we have a lax-natured, thick-fat Spheal. Very cool. And a bashful-natured, natural cure. Very helpful in a no-healing challenge. Staryu. Awesome. I'm liking it. I don't remember what the other ability could be, but I'm pretty sure natural cure is the one that I would want. I think. Yeah, I like it. I like our Pokemon. So yeah. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Emerald, and if you did, a like is appreciated, it helps out a great deal. And if you want to see more Pokemon Weblocks like Emerald heal, well, we're healing, like Emerald here, feel free to subscribe! And in the next episode, we are going to take down Or take on, rather. I don't know if we'll beat them. Take on what's considered to be the strongest gym leader battle of the entire franchise. We're going to take down Tate and Liza, hopefully, without using a single item in battle. We did a lot today. We made our way from Lilycove to Mossdeep, and we even explored the area north of Mossdeep as well, so once we're done, we can head south. But we have to take down Tate and Liza first. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys then. It's gonna be a big episode, but I'm looking forward to it, as scary as it may be. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching!